All praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz coming at you with another live lesson. It's only for the elect, okay? The ones that's going to make it out of here with their life, the ones that's going to preserve their life, it's only for the elect. Basically, they've been prepared before the foundations of the world to receive salvation, okay? And we're basically creeping upon that date, okay? Slowly but rapidly, if you will, approaching that day, okay? So we have to run that if we are of the elect, okay? Because no one knows if they're of the elect or not, okay? But you just have a feeling in the spirit that you are. Now let's go over some scriptures. The book of 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 8. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped together and smote together, and they were divided hither and thither, so that they too went over on dry land, okay? And it came to pass when they were gone over, Elijah said unto Elijah, ask, what shall I do for thee before I be taken from thee? And Elijah said, I pray thee that let a double portion of thy spirit be on me. So so we have to have a double portion of this spirit, okay? Of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, if you want to make it out with your life, okay? If you value your life, if you want to make it out of here, okay? Safe and sound, you have to have a double portion of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai spirit, okay? A double portion of faith. And it's already bad enough that we took the sticky icky, okay? If you took that sticky icky, you already got 1 foot in the grave, okay? So you have to have a double portion of Yahweh Shai's faith, if you will. And Elijah said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. One moment. Nevertheless, if you see me when I am taken from thee, it will be so unto thee. But if not, it will not be so. And it came to pass as they still went on and talking, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and a horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind under heaven, okay? So he got beamed it up, okay? Basically, the scriptures is talking about a beam me up Scotty, okay? So these devils know the truth, okay? They put it in right in front of your face in movies, okay? We have to have a beam me up Scotty moment, okay? To make it out of here with our life, okay? To be safe and sound, okay? If you value your life, okay? Yeah, and only a double portion of spirit of faith that you believe that this is going to happen, okay? Because no one's seen it on a magnificent scale, okay? This is all faith based, okay? That's what this is about. And Elijah saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his clothes, and they rent in two pieces. Okay, so that's what this is about. Basically, he took hold of his mantle. Okay, then after that, after he took hold of his mantle, he was saved. Okay, so when his thermonuclear bombs get detonated, boom, 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 you're gonna have to get translated. Beam me up, Scotty moment. Okay, one moment, a beam me up, Scotty moment, so you can make it out of here with your life. Okay, in one piece. Because if not, you won't make it. It's impossible. You won't make it. First of all, you have to be of the elect in a way to even have these talking points. If you're not of the elect, you're just going to have to, and if you're an Israelite, to just die and come back, okay? Do the regeneration, okay? Do the loins of the elect, okay? It's a mercy killing, okay? Because you can't survive in this cesspool anymore, which you call America, okay? Which is nothing but a cesspool. Okay, so let's come over here. Okay, give me a second here. The book of Revelations 14, verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood be on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 had this father's name written in it on their foreheads. Okay, one moment, gotta get this in a focus. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, as the voice of a great multitude. And I heard the voice of the harpers with their harps. And they sung as if it was a new song. Okay, what's a new song? Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, getting the correct doctrine, getting the correct names. Okay, that new song that's being sung right now. Okay, that new song, the correct doctrine and the correct breakdowns of these scriptures. Okay, that's the new song. A voice of great thunderers, and I heard a voice of harpers with their harps, and they sung if it was a new song from among the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, as no man will learn that song but the 144,000 which was redeemed from the earth. Okay, so basically, again, you only the elect is going to hear that song. Okay, only the elect understand these scriptures and these breakdowns. You can't force nobody to get it. Okay, when we first came into it, we were novice. Okay, we were very pushy, trying to push it on our families or you may or your coworkers or etc. Okay, they didn't get it, so If they didn't get it, it's not meant for them to get it, okay? It's basically only for the elect, okay? That's what this is about. It's only for the elect. The book of Revelation, chapter 15, verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, a great and marvelous seven angels having their seven last pegs in front, and they're filled of the wrath of power. And I saw it was a glass mingled with fire, and them that have gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over the mark of over the number of his name, standing on the sea of glass, having harps and the harps of power. Okay, so what's that talking about? Well, you on a UFO, okay? Boom, thermonuclear destruction detonates over America, okay? You get beamed it up, Scotty, straight into a UFO, and with our brothers screaming for joy that America's destroyed, okay? Basically, in a nutshell, okay? We up there with the brothers, okay? True salvation, okay? And we see that basically, boom, America destroyed, okay? And we up there saying, call Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. And we up there screaming for joy. Yahweh Shai is God of heaven. Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai is God of heaven. And that's what this is about, okay? If you want to make it out with your life, if you're concerned with your life or not. Verse 3, for they sing the song of the Moses and the servants of power and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are you thou's works, O Yahweh, power, almighty, just and true are thou ways. Thou art King of the saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Yahweh, and glorify thou's name? For thee thou art holy, and for all the other nation thou shalt come unto the worship before thee, for thou's judgments are made manifested. Okay, so then bam. That's what this is about. Okay, give me a second. Give me a moment here. In the chariots are always basically around us, okay? But you have to have Yahweh Shai open up your eyes so they can see. They're just camouflaged, okay? It's gonna be a big mountain-sized chariot above you right now. You don't know because your eyes is being closed, okay? That's why Yahweh Shai, Elijah said, pray Yahweh that you open up this young man's eyes. The book of 2 Kings chapter 6, we start at 16. And he answered and said, fear not, for they that be with us are more that be with them. And Elijah prayed and said, Lord, Yahweh, I pray thee, open up this man, open up his eyes so he may see. And Yahweh opened up his eyes, and the young man, and he saw, and behold, there was a mountains full of chariots of fire round and about Elijah. So there was a mountain of chariots, okay, of fire. The mountain was covered with what you call UFOs, okay. Yes, and that's why everyone's seeing them now, okay. That's why everyone's got their camera phones now. They taking pictures of them. They seeing the angels. The angels are making themselves known every day, okay. The UFOs are being sighted, okay. It's about that time, okay. Evening is about here, okay. We're a couple of more minutes before evening time, okay. That's what this is about. That's what this is. If you want to know what this is about, that's what this is about. We're a couple of minutes before evening time, okay. Okay, so one moment. Turn to the book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 4. And look, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire unfolding itself. That's what you see on Independence Day. Ezekiel saw the fathership. It looks like here, okay, or a big giant UFO unfolding it, unfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, and out of the midst of the fire. Okay, so he said an amber colored chariot, okay, blinking, okay, with burning metal, okay, technology, looked like it was the hands of man, okay, okay, jumping over here, okay, one moment. Jump over here to 13. As for the likeness of the living creatures, they appearance have the likeness of coals of fire, and the appearance of the, okay, one moment, and the appearance of them ran and returned like appearance of flashes of lightning. Okay, so when you see the lightning bolts, boom, that's some chariots taking off. Boom. That's how much power they have, okay? These chariots is no joke. They serious business, okay? These chariots are serious business. Now I beheld the living creatures, and there was, behold, one wheel was upon the earth by the living creatures, and with their four faces. They had the appearance of the wheels of the workings, color of the barrel, and they four had the likeness of the appearance of the works, was as if it was a wheel in the middle of a wheel, okay? A wheel in the middle of the wheel. So you see the chariots, the basic one, it always looks like a wheel. It's in the middle of a wheel doing the spinning, okay? That's what you basically see as a normal chariot, okay? Ezekiel saw him plainly. That's how he could describe him the way he can. And remember, he's using his own vocabulary that he had in that day to the best describe a highly elite technology, okay, from the Heavenly Father, okay, and His Son, okay. He's describing it the best way he can. verse 17. When they went, they was upon their four sides, and they turned when they went, as the rings of fire was so high that they were dreadful, and the rings were full of eyes round and about. Okay, so when he said it was dreadful, it was terrible looking at these terrible sights of these UFOs. Okay, it was a terrible thing to look at them. Dreadful. Verse 18, and their rings were so high that they were dreadful. Their rings were full of eyes round about. When when the when the creatures went, they wheels went by them, and when they was living, creatures were lifted up from the earth. The wheels was lifted up. They went thither, and their spirit was to go, and the wheels lifted up against them, for the spirit of the creatures was in the wheels. Okay, so he sees some angels piloting these crafts. Okay, he sees some angels piloting these crafts. Okay, the spirit of the creature was in the wheels. Okay, that's what he say he's seen. Come over here to verse 22. And the likeness of the firmament was on the head of the living creatures, that was the color of a crystal, stretched forth over their heads. And under the firmament was the wings, one towards two, and covered its side, and two covered their bodies. And they went, and the noise of the wings was as the noise of the great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, as the voice of hosts when they let down their wings. Come over here to verse. Let's come over here to verse. Okay, one moment. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 10, verse 13. And as for the wills, I cried unto them in my hearing, oh will, okay? So he's seeing these big giant crafts. That's what Ezekiel said, oh will. Okay, I'm gonna call it right there. So hopefully you was edified. All praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutation to the whole elect. Shalom.